Hi guys, JT here, and today we'll be bringing you some information on Fanatical's Discovery Bundle 2 of June 2023. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? I would love to hear from you guys, so if you have any thoughts, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Anyway, let's get into this. And number 1 we have Hand of Doom. A nostalgic old-fashioned RPG that brings back the feeling of gaming in the 80s and 90s. In this first-person adventure, you embark on missions for a dark overlord, solving puzzles and engaging in cheesy dialogue along the way. The game successfully replicates the retro experience, appealing to fans of classic RPGs. However, if you're not familiar with or appreciative of games from that era, the visuals, audio, and gameplay mechanics may not meet your expectations. The game's story revolves around your role as a minion for the Dark Overlord, gathering powerful magic to defeat enemies. As you explore the world, you'll encounter various creatures, solve puzzles, and interact with non-playable characters who provide hints, missions, or side quests. The narrative is simple and lacks the depth of modern-day RPGs, but it effectively captures the essence of old-school dungeon crawlers. The gameplay features clunky movement and dated user interface, reminiscent of earlier RPGs. You'll wield different weapons and cast spells using specific incantations, adding a creative element to combat and puzzle solving. Adapting to the old-school controls may require some patience, but there are helpful features like a navigational map and a reference guide for spells and lore. Visually, Hand of Doom embraces pixelated graphics and occasional 2D portraits, while the audio has a scratchy quality reminiscent of older recordings. These elements contribute to the game's nostalgic charm, but they may feel outdated to players accustomed to more modern aesthetics. In summary, Hand of Doom successfully captures the essence of old-school RPGs and dungeon crawlers. Its cheesy dialogue, pixelated visuals, and gameplay mechanics will appeal to players seeking a nostalgic experience. However, if you're accustomed to modern games, or lack appreciation for retro gaming, this title may not meet your expectations. And number 2 we have Suffer the Night. An indie horror game that combines various ideas into a somewhat inconsistent experience. As a horror illustrator named Stacy, you find yourself trapped at home during a rainstorm and visited by a creepy man who wants you to play his text adventure game. The game starts with jump scares and an in-game text adventure, but the initial section does not represent the rest of the game very well. Stacy makes a mistake and is whisked away to a different location, where it becomes apparent that you are now inside the text adventure. The game excels at building atmosphere in the first third, as you explore a crypt with limited resources and encounter creepy creatures. One interesting mechanic is a scanner that reveals hidden objects and secrets, adding a game element to the experience. However, the game commits a cardinal sin by tying the ending to collectibles, which can be frustrating for players. Combat is introduced, which is a welcome addition to the genre, but it does not reach its full potential due to slow-moving enemies. The game suffers from inconsistency throughout, with shifts in gameplay and a general feeling of jankiness. The visuals and animations are good, but there are rough edges that detract from the overall experience. Despite its flaws, Suffer the Night shows promise with its willingness to take risks and incorporate different gameplay elements. The developers understand atmospheric horror and have crafted an interesting story. While not all the ideas come together seamlessly, the game leaves you with a positive feeling. With some improvements and lessons learned, Tainted Pact, the developers, could create something truly great in the future. And number 3 we have Landlord's Super, an open-world construction game set in a fictional rundown town called Sheffingham, inspired by working-class life in 1980s Britain. In this game, you play as a construction worker struggling to make a living and build a successful construction business. The game focuses on mundane tasks of a construction worker, such as selling scrap for cash, doing odd jobs, and balancing your time effectively. The goal is to build a house and start renting it out to generate a stable income. Along the way, you'll interact with various characters who represent the lower classes of society, adding to the immersive experience. The game's art direction is intentionally rudimentary, reflecting the gritty, working-class atmosphere of the town. While there are minor graphical glitches, they don't significantly impact the overall experience. Landlord's Super captures the essence of British working-class life, with its humor, references to popular culture, and everyday struggles. The game's economy is harsh, reinforcing the challenging reality faced by the characters. Despite some minor issues and bugs, the game succeeds in creating an immersive environment that resonates with those familiar with the setting. The gameplay revolves around repetitive tasks, mirroring the post-stat game genre. Building the house allows for some creative freedom, but it requires time and energy investment. Landlord Super evokes a sense of nostalgia for those who grew up around similar characters and experienced the era of Thatcherism. However, without knowledge of the setting, the game may not hold as much appeal. Overall, Landlord Super offers a unique and homely experience for players who can appreciate its thematic elements. And number 4 we have Onde, a visually exceptional and relaxing psychedelic trip that will overwhelm you with joy. This game offers a colorful and beautiful journey filled with soothing music reminiscent of games like Journey and Gris. The abstract landscapes and conceptual terrains are complemented by a basic platformer gameplay that uses spheres as a fundamental concept. As you progress, new layers are added to prevent the experience from becoming stale. The narrative of Onde revolves around promoting life, with themes of oceans, space, and stars constantly represented throughout the game. The core gameplay revolves around using orbs to navigate the world, with the playable sprite clinging to these surfaces. The developers introduced various mechanics using these spheres, such as projection, catapulting, and pushing, keeping the platforming challenges fresh. Using the WASD key, you trigger points to activate the spheres, while controlling the sprite with the mouse. Although some checkpoints are poorly placed, overall they're decently positioned. The visuals, presentation, and soundtrack of Onde create a surreal and delightful experience that occasionally shifts to a sense of dread, highlighting the cycle of life and rebirth. While Onde is a quick game with limited replayability, its short but meaningful adventure leaves a lasting impression. The game lasts about 3 hours and concludes with a somber finale. Overall, Onde offers a soothing and visually captivating journey through beautiful kaleidoscope areas, accompanied by an exceptional soundtrack. And number 5 we have Bots Are Stupid, an intriguing twist on a traditional 2D platformer where you cannot directly control your robot character. Instead, you type a list of commands for the robot to follow, adding a unique element to the gameplay. Basic commands like moving right or left and jumping help you overcome obstacles. Timing is crucial, and you can use wait commands to delay movements or the until command to synchronize actions with particular events. The coding aspect adds an educational element while solving platforming puzzles in an enjoyable way. The game introduces a more complex command called Hook, allowing you to fire a rope that clings to surfaces. Mastering when to connect and disconnect the rope adds an extra layer of challenge, with the satisfaction of soaring through the air to reach the goal. Collecting orbs along the way is necessary to activate the goal, and each stage is filled with hazards like spikes, poison, trampolines, conveyor belts, portals, and zip lines, keeping the gameplay engaging. There are 4 different worlds, including a tutorial, and plenty of replayability through score chasing. The game features a custom level creator, allowing players to design their own bot obstacle courses. And you can also download levels created by others. The main drawback of the game is the need to replay stages multiple times to get the timing right, which can be frustrating. Overall, Bots Are Stupid offers a refreshing and satisfying twist on 2D platforming with its unique command-based gameplay and the inclusion of a grappling hook mechanic. The level editor and score chasing add to the game's replay value, making it a worthwhile experience for those seeking something different in the platforming genre. And number 6 we have Sea Horizon, a refreshing rogue deck builder that delivers a satisfying deck building experience. The gameplay is similar to Slay the Spire, where each playable character has a unique combat style represented by a deck of cards. Progressing in the game allows you to add more cards to your deck for future runs. What sets Sea Horizon apart is its energy system associated with the cards. Equipment items like weapons, shields, and armor have a dice rating that determines energy and potential effects. Rolling the dice at the start of each run, you aim to generate enough energy to play as many cards as possible, matching the energy symbols on the cards and equipped items for optimal use. While this adds complexity, it remains engaging and rewarding as you strive to progress further. The game impresses with its clear-cut controls and mechanics, providing information about enemy attacks and status ailments. The satiation mechanic, requiring food to progress on the map, adds an enjoyable element reminiscent of classic games like Oregon Trail. With a range of playable characters, each of their own story, Sea Horizon unlocks new characters as you progress. Various modes, including dungeons with multiple heroes, or an open-ended exploration mode, offer ample content to keep players invested. Visually, Sea Horizon features a simplistic yet attractive cel-shaded art style, allowing for easy differentiation of units and impressive boss character designs. Despite occasional awkwardness, the translation does not significantly impact the overall enjoyment of the game. Selecting cards and items based on your preferred playstyle is crucial. In conclusion, Sea Horizon offers a solid and enjoyable experience for hardcore fans of the deck builder genre. With its challenging difficulty and unique gameplay elements, it stands out as a compelling choice. So if you're seeking a challenging and distinct rogue deck builder, Sea Horizon is definitely worth a try. And number 7 we have The Chronicles of Nyanya, a nostalgic indie game that pays homage to classic JRPGs while incorporating modern game development methods. Developed using RPG Maker MV, it captures the essence of late 1990s and early 2000s JRPGs, and features a unique cast of humanoid cats. The game starts with a tutorial prologue that introduces the mechanics and sets the stage for the story. As the main cat protagonist, Kater, you become part of the Order of the Moving Red Dot, and embark on adventures with a party led by Francat, a cleric cat. The gameplay follows a turn-based combat system, reminiscent of older JRPGs, with each character having unique abilities and classes. Status effects add depth to battles, requiring strategic thinking and the use of healing abilities. The graphics maintain a charming 32-bit RPG feel, with well-designed textures and attention to detail. The soundtrack complements the narrative and enhances the overall experience. Conversations in the game allow for decision-making, although the impact is often limited to dialogue changes. However, it does add a modern RPG element to the gameplay. One notable aspect of the game is the inclusion of lookalike characters from other franchises, with clever feline versions of well-known characters. The Chronicle of Nyanya offers over 20 hours of content, and successfully combines nostalgic gameplay with a cat-themed world filled with puns. The game strikes a balance between old-style controls and a clean, modern look. As an indie game, it delivers a satisfying experience, and deserves recognition in the indie gaming scene. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is okay, but great if you're really into the indie gaming scene. In addition, these games are new to the bundle scene. In any case, kindly show your support by liking and subscribing to the channel, and I look forward to connecting with you in the upcoming video.